Hi, I'm Alex Belinsky. I'm the founder of Prepare to Serve, and I'd like to share some stories with you from the Calgary mission. Some of them are really crazy, some of them are really spiritual, so I hope you enjoy. Victoria. Driving after dark, 5 p.m. in a blizzard in the mountains. Hannah. The high river flooded. Houses were underwater and so many people lost so much. I was able to help clean out basements and give out clothes to those who lost everything. I learned so much. Spencer. The drunk natives downtown are nuts. If you chill with them, they're cool. But if you blow them off, they get super mad and will threaten you. I had a few pull a knife on me. Tanner. I almost got beaten up by a drunk homeless Native American. Karen. When my companion and I went to teach at a man's home who designed and made the movie The Godmakers. Had a terrible feeling and neither one of us could get up to leave. Finally we left, but the things that were said and Satan's influence from that meeting lingered on with my companion for quite some time. She received a blessing to help her overcome her doubts. Brent. Driving the icy roads when a moose walked in front of the car. Jeff. Canadian roadblocks. Driving. Being in negative 40-degree weather. Brad. Driving in freezing rain from Peace River to Edmonton. Sounds like a lot of cold, freezing weather. Ryan. In Canada, not too much is dangerous. Possibly a preparation day activity gets out of hand or something. One time we went on a hike and an elder slipped off the trail and just barely caught himself. It was a steep ledge, not exactly a cliff, but still scary. The most I felt personally threatened is when we were knocking doors and accidentally knocked on a do not contact door. Totally coincidental. It was a freak accident. He cursed us out pretty bad. I would suggest if you run by any such do not contact doors listed, leave them alone. They will probably drive the spirit very far away from you. Anton. Seeing a missionary jump off a bridge about 15 feet up into what turned out to be about 3 feet of water. Wow, that sounds dangerous. Chad. When it got so cold, the tires on our car froze and caused a flat spot. When we drove out, it sounded like we had a flat tire. It was negative 60. Day. Coming down the mountain into Creston from trail, the hood of our car flipped up and smashed our windshield. It spiderwebbed the windshield and I drove looking underneath the hood until we got to a safe place to pull over. Man, that sounds so scary. Anonymous. Got caught in a windstorm in the first area. Ended up in ER with my companion having a cut cornea in his eye from something blowing into it. Trees all over town had fallen. Gets pretty windy out in the plains. From Victoria. Having to go to the bathroom and running through a field to a member's home in knee-deep snow in a skirt. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Hannah. It's really cold and snows often. I would slip on the ice often. It was always something funny to laugh at. Spencer. Just being with other missionaries is always funny. You play pranks on them and just have a good time. Tanner. Someone on the street stopped us to warn us about a cyborg attack. Karen. Only funny if you were there. Elders were playing floor hockey at the church on preparation day. I wanted to play, but my companion didn't, so she sat on the stage and wrote letters while I played. First time I swung my hockey stick, it hit another elder's stick, but his finger was between the two sticks. Needless to say, I broke the elder's finger. I didn't even know it happened until later on in my mission. Oh, I feel so bad. Brent. A certain elder had to go while driving home. They pulled to the side of the road and he returned without his tie. Guess it was the most expensive toilet paper he ever used. Sorry. Hope that wasn't too graphic for you. Jeff. Living Dawson Creek, British Columbia. Shoveling a lot of snow. Seeing wildlife. Visiting Banff. Members. Driving a car with frozen tires. Brad. The two I remember was when the screen door of a home we were knocking on got caught by the wind and knocked my companion off the porch. Also, when another companion turned to the fence that was eye level and came face to face with a dog. Yes, it was a big dog. I never saw someone run so fast. Ryan. At the start of my mission, my trainer and I had a hard time getting along. It wasn't terrible or anything, but it wasn't very enjoyable. A little less than a year later, we were put back together. I was really worried that I would be miserable. It actually went fantastically well. It was incredible. Now we're practically best friends. Maybe not hilarious, but now I look back and I think it's kind of funny how I was so worried about how things were going to go, but there ended up not being anything to worry about. Anton. Praying over a map to find where we should go door to door. Felt good about one street. When we got there weren't any houses built yet. Angela, went bowling and went to throw the ball, slipped and landed on the floor. Chad, going with members to pick up roadkill so they could eat it. Dave, getting hailed on while tracting. It literally came out of nowhere and we were in short sleeve shirts. We ran to Dairy Queen, but the air conditioning was on full blast, so we went from being warm and hailed on to being freezing inside the Dairy Queen. David, going to a member's home talking politics. So from Victoria, a less active member's first prayer for his investigator wife. Hannah, every day there was something to see God's hand in his work. The one that came to mind was when my companion and I were about to go home for the night when the Spirit brought a name to my mind. She was an active lady, but when I tried to dismiss the thought, it came again. So we stopped by this lady's house, and it was the year anniversary of her husband's death. She was so happy that someone came to see her, and we brought the first smile to her face that day. Heavenly Father is in charge. Spencer, while helping at an assisted living center, we met a woman who had been taking the lessons for 9 years, who told us right off the bat she wouldn't get baptized. We baptized her 2 weeks later. Tanner, having the opportunity to testify of the reality of a life after death after an investigator's mother died. Karen, tracting to a lady's home that had 2-year-old twins and another child that was 5. She said she couldn't talk to us right then, but could come back. I told my companion that lady's going to be baptized. About 3 months later, and after I was transferred, she was. Jeff, teaching and baptizing new converts, seeing families sealed for eternity. Brad, after I left my last area, reading a letter from one of the people I baptized, she told me that if I see her in heaven, it was thanks to me. She was an amazing person. Ryan, I only got 3 baptisms my whole mission, but it was a part member family where the dad had been less active for several years. The fact of the matter is that I only happened to be in the right place at the right time. They were baptized a little over a year ago, and we're still in contact. They're working on going to the temple. That's what it's all about, in my opinion. That alone made the whole 2 years more than worth it. Even without it, it still would have been worth it, though. Angela, sharing the gospel with an investigator who's from Taiwan. His brother was translating for him when we asked him to be baptized. He understood. Chad, baptizing an entire family that I still talk to today, and to see their son serve a mission. David, getting sicked on by an owner's dog, bashing with a Jehovah's Witness. Probably not the best idea to bash. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed those stories. If you served in the Calgary mission and you're willing to share some experiences and insights, you can go to preparetoserve.com/survey and fill out the Google form there. And we'll include your responses on the website after we go through and just make some basic edits of any typos. Also, if you're willing to be video interviewed and you live in Utah, you can just message us on our website, YouTube channel, Facebook page, and we'd love to interview you. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day and choose to write. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.